Hi guys, so I've been promising this video for such a long time and I'm finally going to make it. Now this is not a video I'm going to be making regularly just because not many things change in terms of budget, but I'm thinking about sort of looking at spend videos, so what I spent in a particular month. So let me know if that would be of interest or of use. Okay, so if you follow me from the beginning, you probably know that I budget for like a year in advance, okay? So I'm gonna be using my budgeting spreadsheet, slightly modified, but if you're interested, I do have the basic version of this in my Etsy shop. So what I'm gonna do is kick off initially just by showing you my bills tables. So what I mean is electricity and water. Now I'm going to do this just to show you because I know some people are interested in what my bills look like in Poland. So if we have a look, you can see here for electricity, roughly my usage for those months, which I haven't really done for water as much, but then you've got the Polish amounts and then the equivalent approximately in pounds. So as you can see here, in June of last year, I paid 105 zloty, which is about 21 pounds. And that was for 3 months, but I wasn't living there. Then July and August, I paid 70 zloty, which was about 14 pounds. But again, I didn't move in until August. Now, then we've got like the proper amounts. So in September, I got a bill for 326 zloty, which was 65 pounds. And then the regular bills come every 2 months now. So after 2 months, so for October and November, I paid 542 zloty, which was about 108 pounds. Then for December and January, I paid 773 zloty, which was 154 pounds. And then February, March, I paid 729 zloty, which was 145 pounds. Now, the thing that's super important to point out here is that everything in my house is powered by electricity. So, including heating. So I have a heat pump, which everyone seems to think is like this huge black hole of energy. But because I spent quite a lot of money making sure this place was super well insulated, I now have a very low energy bills. Because if you think about it, spending £400 for 6 months of the winter season for everything, including heating through electricity, is really not a lot. Like, people here pay thousands for coal and wood to heat their homes, or people who have heat pumps but don't have well insulated homes also pay a lot more. So just for reference, those are very, very good numbers. And then water, I also have very good numbers because, again, if you've seen previous videos, I don't have like sewage taken away. We have septic tanks. So that essentially means that our water per cubic meter is actually really low. So I pay about 4 zloty per cubic meter. Okay, so as you can see here, in September, I had the biggest amount because that was when I was watering my garden a lot. So I'm fully expecting those kinds of numbers again this summer, but the rest of the months are really low. So we've got 180 zloty in September, which was 36 pounds. And then the rest you can see here, it's 50, 20, 17, 27, 23, 27, okay? So about £5 per month for water, which is just insane. But like I said, it's a lot more during the summer months. Okay, so going on to the main budgets now. I'm just going to go through line by line what I have here. So firstly, spend, then income, and then how it all sort of looks. So for electricity, as you can see here, I've budgeted roughly what I think / hope it's going to be for those months. Again, I don't really know. I'm just basing it off of what I've had previously. So every 2 months, I'm just putting in a rough estimate. Then water, again, based on previous months, I'm putting about 50 per month for the months that aren't summer months, and then 200 per month for the worst summer months. Now, I spend 30 zloty per month on rubbish collection. That's approximately £6. And here we've got food to spend. So again, this is very, very approximate because this varies from month to month. Now, I'm budgeting more for May because I'm expecting to pay again for my box diet. And then I'm putting about 550 per month, 550 per month, because if I really, really tighten my belt and budget, I can just about do it. So that's like my absolute minimum. But most months I do end up spending a bit more than that. But I could do that if I really, really wanted to. Now, pets, this is a rough estimate, but I've put 1,200 in May because I need to get my new puppy sterilized. So that's why that amount is higher than the other months, but approximately 900 zloty per month goes on pet food. That is because I have 7 animals. I'm a bit crazy. And property taxes, again, these are based off of what I received from the council. So you don't pay it every month. They have like collection points. So it's approximately 200 zloty in random months. So you can see here May, September, November, and March. Internet costs me 90 zloty per month. My phone is pay as you go, and I put in about 50 zloty per month into it. Now, the one thing I will actually mention, I also still pay for my English phone, which I don't include in these budgets, and that would be about 100 zloty per month. But essentially, once I get like some sort of affiliate income into my English bank account, I tend to just pay it from that anyway. And then I don't really include affiliate income on my budgeting because you can't predict that at all. Like there are months where I have no affiliate income. So yeah, but usually there's something, and that usually pays off my phone bill. So that's that. Then I have a leftover line, which I guess should be at the bottom, but it's just how it's worked its way in. And basically this is just how much additional money I might have left over that month. So you've got here like 1,000, 200, some months where there's nothing. But then hopefully about £1,000 per month from October onwards. So I've got a lot to still pay for before that. We'll see how that goes, but yeah. Then you've got my loan repayment, which is the loan I've taken out to buy the land next door. So that is £390 per month, which is about 2,000 zloty. And then my national insurance and my accountant. So national insurance, pretty much the first 6 months I pay only 380 zloty. So backtracking, I've opened a company in Poland because I now work for myself. And when you've opened a company, you get 6 months of like just paying the bare minimum national insurance equivalent, which is 385 zloty. The interesting thing is here that the national insurance payments are not based on percentages when you have a company, at least not initially. I don't know how it works if you're like a huge company, but it doesn't matter whether I make 1,000 zloty or 10,000 zloty, I have to pay these amounts. So 385 per month for 6 months, and then 800 zloty per month until 2 years passes. So for 2 years you get preferential rates, and then that number will go up to like almost 2,000 zloty, which I don't know what I'm going to do when that happens, but for now I'm good. Hi, so I'm just editing the video, and there's something I completely forgot to mention that I think is really important, because I don't want to mislead you, and I also don't want comments of like, what about this? So
income tax is something that I forgot to talk about. And the reason I forgot to talk about it is because the, I guess now previous government in Poland, because we have a new one now, they did something that was actually pretty good. They didn't do many good things, but they did this, which is quite cool. And what they did was essentially a tax relief for people who are moving back to Poland from abroad. So essentially what it means is that for 4 years from when I moved back to Poland, I don't have to pay any income tax. Now, that might sound fabulous, but income tax when you're a company is... Actually, I don't even know if it's only when you're a company or whether it's overall. I don't know. Regardless, it's 12%. So it's not that much, because what they did was they lowered income tax, but then put up all the other taxes, which is why like after 2 years, it's like an insane amount and stuff. But they wanted to just be able to say they lowered taxes, which they did, but they upped like national insurance and things. So that is why the only amounts you're seeing are basically the national insurance amounts, because for 4 years, so 3 more, I don't have to pay any income tax. So yeah, just wanted to clear that up.
And then accountant fees, because like I've mentioned in my Things I Hate About Poland video, taxes are so complicated here that most people pay for an accountant. So we do monthly tax returns. So this is only if you're self-employed, by the way, not if you're pay as you earn. So I pay 370 zloty per month to my accountant. Now I have a line called Other, which is basically when I know that I need to pay for something that's not just a leftover. We'll see how it goes. So here I've got 500 in April, which I'll probably have to roll over to May. But that is a court fee because I'm probably taking the council to court, but let's not get into that. Then in May, 4,500 for labour for someone who is doing like a pavement for me on the front and side of my house. And then 7,500 in June for the watering system of my garden. Then I also have some spend that I had to take out of here because I don't want people to see it who know me. But basically we've got a few family occasions such as weddings and hen dos. So that I am not including in here because, again, if they watch my videos, they'll know how much I'm spending on them. So, but yeah, that's essentially what it is. And then income, whereas I used to just have like one line, I now have multiple lines to make it easier. And again, with the exception of the current month or the next month, the majority of this is just estimates. But essentially I've got teaching, for which I have 3 separate lines. So just normal day-to-day teaching where they transfer me straight after the lesson. Then invoices where I invoice them for the whole month at the end of the month, so I get it a month late. And then the Tutlo platform that I teach on as well, which again, I invoice at the end of the month and then they pay me the following month. So these are vague estimates. But if you see, if I add up like a normal month, so June, for example, I'm estimating about 4,800 income from all 3. Now, the variation between those tends to be on a month-by-month basis quite large. So, you know, people call in sick and whatever, and I then have to make up for it in other ways. So usually it's if someone doesn't turn up, like I would want to log on to the Tutlo platform because that works in a cool way where they're not really pre-booked lessons. It works in the way that I log in as a teacher, I set myself as online, and then someone can ring me. And knock on wood, so far, within a couple minutes, someone rings. So that's a pretty good way of sort of making up the lost income. But yeah, on average, let's say 4,800. Then YouTube ads, as you can see here, in April, it was £85. And for the remainder of the year, I'm forecasting 100, which I probably won't get in May. But again, these are just estimates. Like, none of this is rigid. But yeah, I'm hoping 500 per month. Now, other is just if I know there's other income coming in. So for example, in June, I'm hoping to get 600 zloty from being in the voting commission. So essentially where like voting commission, I don't know what to call it, but basically where when people go to vote, like you're there taking their names, ticking them off a list, giving them the handout, and then counting the votes later. So that should give me 600 zloty in June because we've got the European Parliament elections then. And hopefully I will be in the voting commission. I actually had a payment already before filming this video in April for doing it for the April elections. So we had local elections in Poland in April, and I did a higher level of voting commission, which they won't have in June. But I actually got 1,400 for that in April. YouTube Other, now this is where I put in if I know I've got payments coming up, whether it's through affiliates, sponsorships, or anything like that. So again, I don't forecast anything unless I know I'm getting income. So for example, I know that in May I should get 5,000 zloty for something. So I've put that in. Again, it may not happen. It's just based on my best knowledge at the time. And if anything here changes, I just need to adjust the other things I'm doing. So I need to do more lessons, more translating, etc. And then translating, you can see I've budgeted 380 zloty, so £76 for the payout in April, which is for March translating. I didn't do very much translating in March, so it's a low payment. And then I'm forecasting 1,000 zloty per month generally, which is about £200 per month for that. So all in all, you can see here at the bottom, it has the opening bank, the net movement, and then what the balance will get to. So here, if it goes red, it shows me that I should expect to be in overdraft at some point that month. When it's something like 10 zloty, I'm not worried because that I can easily make up. But let's say that 5 grand doesn't turn up. That is a worrying amount. But then of course, like these leftover payments that I would have here, I would get rid of them. And that reduces the overdraft, but obviously I still have a lot to make up for. So that's basically how I budget. I do also have about 15,000 zloty, so £3,000 that I still have to pay for. So the electrician, the construction manager, and my uncle. So I still need to pay them money. So that's not included in my budget because with them, none of them have asked for money yet. And obviously I've got those other priorities to pay for, but I've got this written down because I know I need to pay it. So I know I can't be just spending money on random stuff I don't need. Anything from this leftover line will be going towards those payments. That's it. Hopefully this has been okay. I wasn't sure how best to do this, but I know some of you have been interested in how I budget, what I spend living in Poland. So essentially, if you want the equivalent in pounds, you just divide by 5. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.